$205 billion worth of crypto transactions happened in Sub-Saharan Africa between July 2024 and June 2025. In March 2025 alone, $25 billion crypto cash flowed through Sub-Saharan Africa. Boys, they hold. Why are so many young Ghanaians and other Sub-Saharan Africans comfortable with putting their money in the unregulated, untrusted market of decentralized finance over the regulated financial market? I have the answer and I'll share with you. My name is Enebi Tony. I'm a Ghanaian writer who lives in the US. And on this channel, I talk about Ghana's international relations and trade-related issues. And today's topic is a very fascinating one because I'm about to connect a dot you didn't know existed for you. Let's go to 2018. But before you get to 2018, 2017, Bank of Ghana announced that the minimum capital you needed to operate a bank in Ghana was going to be 400 million Ghana cedi. Before 2017, it was 120 million Ghana cedis, which means they increased it over 200%. But this conversation was happening between Bank of Ghana and the banks. The public had no idea this was happening. And on August 1st, 2018, Bank of Ghana announced that it was consolidating 5 banks. They announced that in the morning, and by evening, we realized that it was actually going to be about 9 banks that was going to be consolidated into the Consolidated Bank of Ghana. This was a shock for most Ghanaians. The next day, all banks in Ghana, not just the affected banks, woke up to their customers standing in front of their banks asking to cash out their money. Bank of Ghana put out another statement that consolidation didn't mean that you were losing your money, keep your money in banks, blah, blah, blah. But Bank of Ghana had already succeeded in creating fear and panic in the system. People were not going to back down. And if you look at the data, in 2018, the number of mobile money accounts in Ghana rose from about 13 million to 32 million. With 13 million active accounts, which means that almost every adult in Ghana had an active mobile money account. Yeah, that is what caused the rise of mobile money. The Bank of Ghana noticed that mobile money is taking over banking in Ghana as the safest route for banking or holding money in Ghana. So Bank of Ghana started finding ways to regulate mobile money. As it stands now in Ghana, all mobile money providers are regulated by Bank of Ghana through their affiliation with various banks in Ghana. Keep that in mind. Regulation is the word for today. Then a month from August, which was on September 9th, 2018, the Security and Exchange Commission of Ghana announced that Men's Gold, a gold trading and investment company, was operating fraudulently and was actually operating a Ponzi scheme. So, its licenses were revoked. And it was again announced that customers of Men's Gold were going to have their monies refunded to them. I think it was Men's Gold that made that announcement. Till date, customers of Men's Gold have not received their money. But the Men's Gold situation, coupled with the bank cleanup, was a 1-2 punch that shocked my generation. I'll tell you why. I had a mentor, right? And one time I visited him in his office. This was when NDC was in power before 2016. And he said he was going to the bank, so I should come with him. I went to the bank with him, and I found out that he was saving with Unibank. And I know this guy to be a card-bearing member of NPP. Unibank at this point was owned by Ghana's finance minister and NDC man. So I'm like, yo, boss, uncle, why are you an NPP man with an NDC bank? And he said, the bank belongs to the finance minister of Ghana. I know my money is safe as long as his party is in power. When his party loses power, I will move my money to a different bank. So basically, older Ghanaians, people who probably were adults before the year 2000, understood that governments in Ghana are very powerful and a single government action could change your entire life. These were people who grew up in the age where they woke up one morning and somebody will come and sit on radio and read that there is a new government in power and the whole country fell in line. Coup d'etats, that's how they happened. Somebody will take hold of media and some offices and declare themselves government and then they. But if you grew up after the year 2000, you were growing up in a Ghana that was relatively stable. So you didn't think too much about government action. You thought of yourself as somebody who worked hard, earned money, did whatever you did. So a lot of people from my generation went to school, tried to make our own money, do things for ourselves. We are the Afro-capitalists, right? And that 2018 action made us realize that power pass power. Government can wake up one day and decide your financial future. That shocked us, my generation. And people started trying to find ways to escape government. That is where cryptocurrency comes in. So from 2018, cryptocurrency began getting some traction in Ghana. But it was in 2022 that cryptocurrency solidified its hold over Ghana. In 2022, another government action. President Akufo-Addo's government announced E-Levy. And if you are somebody who pays attention or keep track of events like I do, you notice that 2022 was when Fix the Country demonstration started. 2022 was when young people in Ghana started demonstrating against the government publicly. People went to jail. I have some friends who went to jail in 2022 over that demonstration. And so my generation started looking outside government control for self-control over their finances. And the unstructured, unregulated crypto market, again, it became the most attractive. Now, a third government action. When Bank of Ghana announced again that if you were having a transaction in Ghana over $10,000, you had to KYC, know your customer. It slowed down transactions, If you were a Ghanaian and you were receiving over $10,000 outside the country, sometimes the bank or whichever platform you are using for remittance could hold your money for up to 3 days. And if you were using the money for something urgent, that meant you couldn't do it for 72 hours. And from what I understand, I talk to people on the ground. I'm told that 3 days safe, sometimes it goes beyond. Sometimes Bank of Ghana will require you to come in person and talk to them, so on and so forth. And so remittance started going through mobile money and crypto platforms. Binance, Trust, and other peer-to-peer platforms became more attractive for people. That was the third knock that made Ghanaian youth decided to move away at all from the formal sector to the informal sector, the unregulated sector. Everybody that I was talking to a friend who is a financial expert in Ghana, he told me everybody, direct quote, is moving to the informal sector now. You would think that my generation of the most educated Ghanaians, most of my friends went to university and the rest. We will be the generation that would work the most in the formal sector. But my generation is realizing that the formal sector comes with government regulations and government are volatile. And so the informal sector is where action is. Yeah, that's what's happening now. And when you couple this with the cedi volatility and everything happening with our currency, and not just our currency, the US dollars and the rest, crypto's hold over Ghana youth is not going away anytime soon. That is why Bank of Ghana is trying to regulate cryptocurrency. I said trying because they've not been successful in even getting a regulation framework accepted by Parliament yet. In my next video, I'm going to talk about, can Bank of Ghana regulate cryptocurrency? I will post that 5 hours after posting this video. So yeah, you have that conversation and then there will be a part 3 about something else related to cryptocurrency. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want more of this conversation. Talk to you later.